What is up, guys? Today is install day for the turbo kit. We got my brother over here already getting started. And we actually did some things off camera already. We got the turbo removed, so this is progress as of right now. So was it a hard install, you think? No or nah?
No, not really.
Not really? Yeah, so one thing about the B58, they really changed the way the manifold design and all the overall placement of everything. So it's super easy, you know, like all the bolts are down here. That's the old gasket. So yeah, we definitely like the install or going in general. The process is super easy. But here's the old turbo. Good old Vargas. Let me see if I can get it. So this turbo is actually still really good. I have a boy coming to pick it up. But yeah, so this is the old turbo. She's still good, she's still solid. And what are you working over here? You wanna explain to everybody what you're kinda doing right now?
Threading the oil line. This goes to the block, and yeah, transferring all the fittings that goes from the old one to the new ones.
All right, so basically, to sum it up, we're transferring all the fittings from the old hybrid turbo into the full frame turbo. So with this turbo kit, the reason why I went with this turbo kit is because you can use a lot of OEM parts for it. So you don't have to make a whole new complete DIY oil line system or anything like that. So right now what he's working on is basically putting the oil line, we put Teflon tape right here and just getting it ready to route it up. This is for the coolant return line right here. And then we have to remove the wastegate and the screamer pipe just to kind of save some weight, because this thing is actually a lot heavier than you think, especially when pulling it together. This turbo is pretty lightweight when it comes to holding it. And I mean, I would probably say this is about 45-50 pounds just by itself. But this turbo, on the other hand, it is bigger, so it is kind of heavier. So it's gonna take some time. So I'm gonna go ahead and help him out, get this done, so hopefully by the time the next clip starts, the turbo is in. But yeah, I mean, shoot, the whole garage is a mess right now, but you know, we're getting it done. It isn't too much of a hard process to get started with the install. We have to drain the coolant, we have to drain the oil, and yeah, that's about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of put the camera down, kind of get started working on it. So hopefully we can get this bad boy installed today. Okay, so it's been a couple hours now since we last picked up the camera, but we finally got the turbo in. Oh shit. Okay. We finally got the turbo installed. Here's how she's looking. Looking really good. The turbo is not clocked 100% yet, so we still have to clock it. But basically, what we had to do is we were kind of having issues with fitment with the oil line, so we had to take this cold side out and basically we fix the fitment and all that good stuff. But we finally got it down that it's still not tight. These bolts are just hand tightened, so we're gonna have to tighten all these bolts out. So this is the final position it's gonna settle. We mainly did this so we can kind of get an understanding of the overall direction the turbo faces, because the turbo can kind of spin in angles right now, but we weren't 100% sure if the turbo was supposed to be at this angle or straight downwards, or you know, like at a slight angle. So what we did to kind of get a good angle and fitment, we went ahead and installed basically the whole entire charge pipe and tighten that up, and so the turbo would automatically shift to its original position to kind of compensate the fitment of the charge pipe. So now he's kind of testing out the fitment. So now the turbo is good. So
that's where it is.
That's exactly where it is. But it looks kind of cool, just kind of standing here right now, like seeing that turbo right there. All right, guys, it's been roughly the next day since we last picked up the camera, but we finally got the turbo kit installed. I didn't pick up the camera because we had a couple things that we ran into. Like we had some fitment issues with the coupler. For example, this coupler charge pipe kind of hits this sway ball right here, and then we had to kind of adjust this coupler a little bit multiple times. We had to rotate the turbo just to kind of gain some clearance from the oil return line, because we had to make a custom one. But other than that, we were kind of really in the zone. I wanted to get this thing done, so it's kind of hard to pick up the camera in the process, but I got some footage for you guys. But we have the coolant bled, we primed the turbo, so the turbo is nice, have oil pressure. We already bled the coolant, so it's so bubbly, but it's in there. But yeah, so go ahead and start her up. So everything checks out. There's no leaks from what we can see. We checked that oil return line, oil return or feed line, and then the coolant line. You can kind of see it. No leaks from there. The oil return is that little thing down there. I don't know if you guys can see it. That little buddy right there. Don't see any leaks, so that's always a good sign. No leaks on here. No leaks on the fitting back there. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but the car starts. It sounds different, actually. Here you guys. She idles different. She has a little bit of idling in her. Sorry for the mess. Let me put this back. So, seems like there's no leaks. We'll go ahead and find out, but coolant is running through. No bubbles, thank goodness. So everything seems like it's pretty good. We'll see if the I am gonna have a check engine light because I'm not on base map yet. I'm actually still in my old tune, so I'm not really allowed to drive it yet. So I can't really hit boost or anything like that, but I'm just turning on the car just to kind of get a feel for the overall overall car, make sure there's no leaks or anything like that. I'm gonna be bringing some coolant with me, extra coolant. I'm gonna buy another Zerex extra coolant for the car just in case when we get to a spot. I want to make sure I'm gonna check it once in a while to get some coolant and some oil too, just in case. And yeah, solenoid's all tapped in. Shout out to AJ, he's the one that did all the wiring for the Max solenoid. So hey, good job on that, bro. Hell yeah. But we did this in 2 days, so everything checks out. So we just gotta wait for everything to kind of like settle in. I know for a fact we had a boost leak a little bit, an exhaust header leak right there. We had a couple of bolts that were kind of still loose from here, but I mean, she's good. But she starts, man. Look at that turbo. She starts. Give it a little rev to like 2K. Woo! That's good. Turbo spool. Keep in mind, I don't have the T51R mod, which is basically a little machining. I know his turbo, it has a cool mod. Basically, inside the inlet or the turbo housing, there's a little machine. Oh, it's been machined to the specific pattern where every time air gets sucked in, it creates a really loud whistling noise. So it basically just enhances the turbo whistle noise. But I don't have that. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's pretty smooth in there. If it was if I had the mod, it would be very rough. So, but wow, car starts. Just look at it right here. This is honestly a dream come true. I remember buying this car, seeing it like, well, buying this car, bone stock, and then getting an upgraded turbo, and then now the manifold, bigger turbo. Next up is gonna be trans, and then we'll see what she can do. But this is sick. Hell yeah.
Alright, my next.
His next. His turbo is literally sitting right there, so it's gonna be cool. I'm excited. All right, we're gonna go for a little baby drive, so I'm gonna cut there real quick.